Hello, ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Connell Work.
And I'm Rangaroo. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today we're going to go take a look at the SD League playoffs. This is a match on Orsha East between two smashing players. Frank, who do we have and what are they bringing?
On left-hand side in blue, we have Grey Fox playing 1st Romanian Cavalry Division with a Vanguard income, and on the right-hand side in red, we have Vesely playing 3rd US Armored Division, also with a Vanguard income.
So I'm a little concerned right now. I mean, we had an early P51. I get the feeling that the second that there's any kind of Romanian material over here on the visible, it's going to be a very quick bombing run happening, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very interesting getting that very early on, and he's just, waiting for something to blow up. You usually don't see airplanes, especially like a bomber plane like that, being called so early in. But yeah, we just got both sides deploying their troops on the front line as per usual. Vesely getting into the forest first and using that M8 Greyhound to great effect to slow down in the infantry.
And down to the south, of course, the Hungarians is going to get... Yeah. I'm going to do it the entire match. Jeez. The Romanians just going to get spanked by a super, super early bombing run. But you're right. That M8 dominates that road, at least until we have the, the T4s, i.e. P4s, coming out to play. Oh, looking otherwise, looks like we're getting set up for maybe a secondary push moving across that central kind of head. I know we're looking at the map kind of upside down to my normal orientation for us. But that head still continues to be the prime kind of piece of real estate here. You can control that, you can play Austerlitz and kind of hit either side of the map pretty easily.
Yeah, it was so vital to really controlling this map.
But I kind of like... Actually, you know what? I really like this early 155 call-in. Yes, it requires you to invest a hefty amount of points to something that you has a very limited number of really solid uses. But 3rd Armored can play for a quick breakout here in the south if they can get lucky and at minimum stun up the P4s and heck, even set them up to get killed. Because remember, we have the bazooka in here as well, so the bazooka's waiting for some cheeky play.
Yeah, it could work out very well for him, and especially it's always worthwhile doing something like this on the southern side, because once you capture the south, or this area in particular, it's pretty easy to hold. It's just open ground between you and the enemy. And then the elf map is going to be coming in and gonna be really stunning up that Romanian force pushing through.
Are you sure they're not Hungarian?
Oh no, I thought it was finished for a second.
Well, they might be finished after this. Dad jokes aside, yep, there we go. We got two. We had a stun up, forced to fall back, and the other one here is definitely probably rocked back on his heels. You're gonna see, yep, Sherman's gonna bounce around looking for those cheeky kills. He may not get. No, he's gonna get eyes on in a second here.
Yeah, he's gonna be chasing after the P4, and as we all know, Sherman's a very good aggressive tank, so they do have those stabilizers. And
oh, good lord! It's been so long
since
those freaking stabilizers.
I know. It's not like SD44 where every single allied division apart from one had a Sherman's in some form.
That is certainly true. Actually, I do love this MGMC call in the south as well. So the Romanians, of course, a lot of their infantry, they... Let me rephrase this already. There is the possibility of having Panzerfausts, but if you looked at the deck early on here, and indeed if you look much later in the deck as well, very, very minimally based anti-vehicle presence from the Romanian infantry. They are heavily dependent on the Stogs, on the P4s, and really even on those light vehicles to be aggressive. So that half track to the south with the quad 12-7s, yeah, that's going to just churn people to pieces.
And also airplanes too, who decide to fly anywhere nearby airspace.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Now, like I said before, we are going to see a potential push getting built up here in the center. Not a huge fan of these P4s, like practically kissing each other with the basically the horses behind them. Yeah, they kill a Greyhound, but it's awful tight in there.
It is. It is. But fortunately, as we see with our Godvision, there's no real anti-tank here at all to really contend with those P4s. However, off-map artillery will be something that you will have to contend with, however. And that will probably... Yeah, it's definitely going to stop outposts, I think. Grey Fox is going to be parking right in the middle of it.
He is, and there's also a brace of Shermans coming up here to the center. Oh no, they're sitting just off the front lines. Another Sherman kind of getting a little frisky, potentially looking for some northern play. Oh no, he's going for that 47 mil. No, let's go for the MG. Curious. Okay. And the shells are going to fall down just as some of that armor moves off to the right-hand side. So we'll see if it gets very lucky with some of these early strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Very fortunate indeed.
Yeah, it's very clumped up. You might have to kill a tank or two a bit off map.
Well, it doesn't even need to kill. It just needs to stun up the P4s, or at least stun up all but one P4.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, yep, those two Shermans kind of getting pushed over here to the bottom of this hillside. I feel like this is the time that you got to be aggressive and get on the hill almost instantly.
Yeah. Yep, and there we go. Second off map going to be coming in to try and stun up our force. That should be, yeah, off map artillery, out of ammunition now, but will it be enough? I don't think Vesely. I mean, he does have some motorized infantry, or mechanized infantry, I should say, coming in. I'm guessing he's gonna charge him up the hill once the off map drops, but there's a lot of material on that hill.
It's a lot of material, yes. But remember, these are armored rifles, so they got Zooks.
Yeah, that's true. But the Panzer Force are starting to spread out a bit.
Yeah.
I do like the ones going up north, as that's a pretty good position to be in. And yeah, Grey Fox, full of time being, pretty much has the hill under his control, and that is a pretty big advantage.
Actually, I love this. So there's going to be no airplanes allowed in the central position here. There's 4 Hotchkisses.
Yeah.
No, sorry. So there's basically two technicals, and then we're going to have 3 Hotchkisses moving on in as well.
Yeah.
25 mils. Yeah, there's so much anti-air there. You have to get air power to push them back.
Mm-hmm.
But alright, so the Shermans are aggressing. P4s, a couple are stunned up, but I don't know they're going to be able to get all of these.
Shermans are going to be pretty deadly, and I do find it quite interesting with Vesely's stack. He's pretty much banked everything on the Shermans, as you can see. He really doesn't have much in terms of anti-tank or artillery or anti-air. I mean, so is Shermans here on out, which is very, very American. But also, well, it's not very American, it's getting killed by air power. It's very anti-American, really.
Ju-87, missing just short.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky. It's a quad, jeez, but it's the quad 12-7s. Yep, and he goes down. Not surprising.
Too slow. Almost crashes into the hot. Oh, wow. What a shame. I was playing a match earlier, Recon, and I called on a Stuka and it got shot down like pretty much immediately, and it crashed into my stug and it died.
You know, I had a similar experience with one of my own today. I had an ME-109 who was going in to hit an anti-tank position, and he went in for his bombing run and got hit by ground fire, and he landed pretty much where the bombs did. So I hope his /her/insert, the appropriate word here, I hope the life was well worth it. His sacrifice was certainly missed.
Yeah, definitely Rotor 1 style, going down the plane.
But yeah, well, it's like a captain. It's like a captain of his own airship. He's got to go down with it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're seeing a tiny bit of action to the north. And I say tiny because really all it is Vesely just trying to pick up an occasional flag or two to balance out this kind of middle position where he is slowly building up so many forces. Like, this is going to be a screaming horde of tanks and infantry pretty soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Grey Fox does have... I keep forgetting that Panzerschreck... the engineers and Panzerschreck team kill each other, but... it's a very interesting squad, because it does have satchel... Not satchel... Yeah, like satchel, grenade, lungs, whatever you call it. Thank you. And then, like, Panzerschreck, which means it's... That's a very good rapid loadout for squad, and that's one of the things that Romanians have. Is pretty damn good infantry, all things considered.
True. But it's still to contend with people like this M8 that's on Overwatch in the back, who can see and is happy to kill.
I'm surprised he's still alive, frankly.
I'm sure he's surprised to be alive too, but I think a Greyhound, definitely depending on that speed, definitely able to kind of continue being very, very well placed, let's say.
Yeah, you really see him just running laps around the map.
I can't help but feel, though, that Vesely was really hoping that his air power be able to pound positions here in the center. But, can we just take a moment to just appreciate the absolute hellstorm of fire he'd be going into.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cheap anti-aircraft, but it's all pretty decent cheap anti-aircraft. As those Hotchkiss 25 mils and the 50 cals are not bad for the price.
Oh, not even remotely. Yeah, they're fantastic when you think about it.
And it's really annoying to deal with because it's multiple anti-aircraft guns spread out, so you can't just, shell one or two and you can start flying over like 37s or 40 mils. You're gonna have to artillery a lot of guns, and Vesely doesn't really have much artillery, so he can do bugger all about it.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to mention too, is that I know the meta has tended towards being more off-map, kind of with the idea that you're getting a much higher concentration of fire and it's not taking so much extra time to suppress. But this is my kind of counter-example, my counter-argument really for the entire position of having more mobile, stovepipes or a 105 pack howitzer, insert here really some on-site artillery. Yeah. Is that you'd be able to more effectively deal with this. You unmask it, yes, you might lose a single airplane, but those 25 mils, they're not mobile, and I'm happy to go through a 13 mil. That's fine. A single 13 mil in the back of a Ford, yeah, it's cool. It sucks, but I'll deal with it. It's not a big deal for me.
Like in this example, mortar half tracks would be very useful. And mortar half tracks in general are some of the best artillery you can get for 1v1 matches, such as this, because cheap, it's mobile. And for dealing with softer targets like that, it's fantastic. It's fantastic dealing with anything, really, that doesn't fly. Even if it does fly with an American one, you've got a 50 cal machine gun, you can at least attempt to trot it down.
True. That's exceedingly true. Just looking around otherwise, to the north, things have kind of calmed down a little bit. It is 13-11 in favor of Grey Fox over Vesely. But like I said, I feel like we're waiting for this build-up. We have another Jumbo coming in, another Sherman coming in. Yeah, these are all coming here to the south, I feel like. And we're going to have... Let's see, there was a Rhino in there, wasn't there?
A Jumbo?
Oh, yeah, thank you, I'm sorry. But
yeah,
there was
Jumbo, yeah.
I thought there was a second Jumbo. Maybe I'm incorrect on that one.
Yeah. There's another one being brought in up north, and P-51 going to be coming in, dropping in some bombs, as Grey Fox is trying to maneuver a little bit around the northern side, it seems. He's getting a Panzer IV and some 222s.
Alright, another one coming right back in. So, air power not really as active as it might have otherwise been, really on both sides. Junker's just way too stinking slow, unfortunately, and a lot of those remaining pieces of equipment are really more like POSs. So, it's a little hard to really agitate for an aggressive playstyle, aside from the air.
Yeah.
Might be seeing an attempted rush here to the south. There was a 57 mil at one point. I dare say that is quite dead now. And wow, he's very gutsy about this. We're going to see a lot of different motorcycle troops being brought on in. I think 5 or 6 different squads. And
burn down that entire forest.
You could be Trogdor, you're still not going to burn all that thing down. Also, the push has begun. There is a Stug here, but the P4 is already dead because you are not penetrating the front armor of that Jumbo.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in that situation. That is a lot of firepower. Unfortunately, it doesn't really... I mean, this would be the perfect time for a Stuka cluster bomber to come in and try to save the day, but he doesn't really have anything nearby to really deal with such a big blob of Shermans, Khan. It's so many Shermans.
Yes, it is. There's 6 Shermans and a half-track to just be a blade of armor. And we're going to see the Hotchkisses, I think, start to open up on them pretty soon here. And that's just not going to be a good idea. Yep, they're aiming. They're going to take fire. Yeah, here comes the Stuka now.
But it's coming up north.
Yeah. Interesting decision. Right towards Beaufort as well. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I think he's going to get an accurate bomb off.
Nope.
No, the Jumbo moves. Loses line of sight. And really die.
He may, yeah. That Beaufort is not to be trifled with. There we go.
Yeah. Stukas pretty hard to fly about in when there's anti-aircraft in the field.
It's also strange to me. I mean, I like the fact that these Hotchkisses have been turned off to return fire. Why did the Shermans pull back? Was it because of the push in the south? He wanted to have that attention, do you think?
Maybe. Or maybe he didn't want to push too much of the Shermans. He doesn't have much recon or infantry to back him up, which is a pretty valid concern. And we've got another Stuka cluster coming in down south. But really, do anything because there's a P-51.
It's still the MGMC, isn't it? Oh no, it's
still
MGMC.
Yeah, it wasn't MGMC. I think he died.
He's deployed north.
No, there was one down south, but... Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
And now there's an M15 here as well. Jeez, yeah, these ME-109s going to be lucky to make it out alive.
Yeah. Yeah, American air power is really goddamn good. Those P-51s are some of the best planes in the game in my book.
Certainly fair. Well, we see another ME-109 hit the dirt, and I imagine this IAR is going to follow him PDQ, and yep, there we go.
But I do like down south, he has managed to flank around with some autocannon vehicles. It's going to be taking some fire, however, but going to be able to get into a position to flank into the lone engineer in that forest. Wouldn't want to be that guy.
No, neither would I. That's definitely like a Battle of the Bulge moment here. Yeah, not too surprising there.
Yeah, he still has a satchel charge, and he's not afraid to use it.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you on that one. It's one of those moments I'm like, I don't care whether or not I'm nervous about using it or not. I would still be kind of having a bit of a horrible nightmare. Mm-hmm. Shermans are starting to be more aggressive here again, and yep, okay, so maybe this is what it was. There were more engineers being thrown on forwards, so I think that's what it was. You need to get some infantry support, so I think you had the right call before.
Yeah. And he's going to be using them to cross the open field, probably disembark into the other, like, little town strip sector on the other side, and...
Or he just continues to run back.
Oh, yeah.
What? Whatever.
I'm guessing he doesn't want to throw his massive Sherman blob into anything, you know, he's trying to be careful of it, which I do understand, because if you lose all those tanks, that's pretty expensive. The up north is doing pretty decent. He has managed to capture both of the flags by the farmstead area. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's using like his P-51s fantastically. He's just constantly bomb hell and back. Grey Fox may have a lot of anti-aircraft in the center, but not too much elsewhere. You know, he's starting to remedy that with a Flak-Berlin half-track down south.
Well, we are deep into B here, so not too surprising. I really feel like there's a lot of opportunity being missed, though, by Vestley. If you don't want to send your guys across the open field, I get it. But the Romanian material, you have to worry with the strokes, and that's really about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those slugs can perform pretty good at long range against the Shermans, but there's also a lot of Shermans he has to deal with. And I don't remember Grey Fox's anti-tank tab, but I guess it's decent.
He's got a 4-pack of 75 mils.
Okay.
Those are also the indirect fire variants, if desired.
Oh, they're the really awesome, like 75 mil guns. I completely forgot.
Yeah, one of them actually coming to the north right now. So I think he's seen the fact there's an M8 Scott there, and he's rightfully trying to make sure he can aggress to push back in case we have like this. MG42 is about to bite the dust, I'm sure.
Slowly getting pounded out by a Scott.
Alright, now down to the south.
Run down south. But really make it? I don't think so. Oh!
Nah. I was wondering about that too, but that ballistic curve was just way too far.
Yeah, way too far.
Watching the Shermans and this M4A1 engage that stroke from a distance, it's both impressive and saddening, because apparently all the stabilizers in the world can't help if you just can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, and the Stargate's just trying to fall back to get into a better ambush position here. Still a lot of Shermans he has to contend with, and he has like 2 tanks down south, and I don't think that's going to be enough.
Well, he's got 1 tank down south, and...
Yeah, you don't want to be trading run for run in this scenario. It's just a lot of Sherman you're going to have to deal with.
Well, it's a quick reminder. I mean, both sides are looking at Vanguard. And while there are going to be almost 10 double chevron P4s over here for the Romanians, I don't really think I'd want to go and rest all my hopes and dreams on them.
Yeah, it's still, like, in vanilla, it's pretty risky during Sherman and P4 fights. P4s is a longer range of Sherman. So the P4s do have a slight advantage, but it's still pretty neck on neck. And on a map like this, where it's mostly closer quarters, I really do give it to the Shermans because you have those lovely stabilizers.
Another IAR keeps coming in. I keep going north to see these tiny little bombing runs. I keep trying to go back south. And every single time I turn away, I just continue to see, yep, another aircraft going in again, and another aircraft gets shown right back out.
Yep. He has spotted the Bofors, and
yes,
what it's going to do to it. Maybe blow it up, hopefully.
175 mil is going to be, I think, engaging. Oh, nope, he's not even engaging that. Okay, he can see the Scott. That's interesting that he's not engaging there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not deploying them to counteract the Shermans in the center. Good gosh, there's also a ton of Jeep 50s being brought on in.
Holy
looks like
moly.
Vesely is literally just bringing in an entire company, really, of machine gun Jeeps. And I don't know if that's just him being like, yo, dude, I'm out of infantry, which would make no sense.
No, I think it's just for the bench, man. It's for a laugh. I'm actually really curious to see how it's right, because usually Jeep 50 cals or any, like, sort of vehicle with a machine gun, pretty crap, all things considered. So I wonder how it's going to work to blitzing through the middle where there's a crap ton of enemy machine gun fire, anti-aircraft guns, and tanks to blow up when you cross that ridge.
Well, I'm counting that he's bringing in 15 of them.
It's like a game of Snake.
Yeah, no, and now it's 17? 18, 19. He's literally just spent, I think, almost 2 full ticks of reinforcement just on Jeeps with 50s.
Why?
It's absurd.
This is ridiculous. I have no words, Khan. This is the silliest thing I've seen all week. And it's, well, technically Tuesday when this video is recorded.
Also, I don't know what just died, but it can't be as important as watching the attack of the 50s. A couple of armor rifles as well. There we go. Okay. Because we had to make some sense out of this push.
Okay, he's dropping an off map, and he's in a Russian of the 50s.
But there's so many anti-aircraft positions there, like it's gonna be just pure hot death.
But Khan, the anti-aircraft guns, they're only allowed to shoot aircraft, right?
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I've been thinking about. Scott goes down. This was a P-51. Yes, sir?
A jumper off north went down. I think it might have been due to artillery fire.
I thought it looked like a Scott, but I might be wrong.
Or maybe 75 mil or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but we're waiting for the attack of the dam, the charge of the light brigade, as it were. So 9, 18. Yeah, I think he's got pretty much all of his Jeeps on the field.
Yeah. A lot of goddamn Jeeps.
Goddamn Jeeps. That's about the right way to put it, too. Rather underwhelming.
Okay, is he gonna push with him? I mean, this is what we're waiting for.
Well, there's a Sherman who's sticking up his head to see if there's 6 more weeks of winter or not. And it looks, under the current circumstances, he doesn't see his shadow yet.
Interesting.
Indubitably. I really want to know what the hell's going on with this. I mean, if you're just doing it in just terms of just raw numbers, and you want to just zoom out, it goes from one side of the screen to the other and then some. But, yeah. Stovepipe in the meantime, otherwise 60mm mortar is going to basically hammer down on top of that MG 1919. Not too shocking. He's unfortunately right out in the open, which means it might be a resurgent push by the Romanians to the north.
Yeah, I might be able to get that farmstead back, because that's a pretty important position, because it's 2 very lucrative flags right next to each other.
I get the feeling that Vesely is just forming up for some death push Because already we're seeing a couple guys coming on in, unveiling a couple positions here and there. And this can only end in tears. Jeez. Well, Sherman goes down. I think wasn't it the 75 mil.
Yeah, Grey Fox just has a very good position on that hill because he has anti-tank, like, covering all the angles. He has the 75 mil on the southern end of the hill. He has the Panzer Force on the northern end. He has a lot of angles covered, and even if he drops off map in the center, which is what you usually do if you're gonna push north and southern sides, you're still gonna get pounded by all sorts of nasty anti-tank fire.
It certainly seems that way. But let's be fair, when all is said and done, big reason that we're not seeing quite the same death age that we might have otherwise expect. Oh, now is he going to bring 4 Scott for these M8s in there? No, he's not. He's going to bring them to the north, and he's going to try to pound the opposite side of positions. Not sure exactly how effective that might be, but I admire his gumption. Wait there. And that the Romanians are attacking? Vaguely?
It seems to be, like, up north.
Well, in the center, they're taking a much more aggressive position in that town.
Yeah. We do have some armored rifles and engineers here, so maybe he's just trying to ward them off. In that long range, you can't do that because those armored rifles are. Well, at the same time, these Romanian troops don't have a great gun, so. But anyway, they outnumber them, so all that really matters.
That is certainly true. I am fascinated by this. Okay, so Bofors is engaged in the ME-109 to the north. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down. He's already trailing a bit of smoke. And then the Scots over here, what are they engaging? They're engaging those P4s? They're engaging the infantry?
I think infantry on the hill. They have an angle on the hill and the P4s is like behind it.
Nope, you're right. When you're right, you're right. But come on, send in those freaking Jeeps. I want to see the clowns go in. Well, when that twitches, we'll take a look.
It's really building up. I mean, he's got all the Shermans here. I think he's got another artillery being brought in. One coming down south, up north. This is just... I mean, we're just trying to buy time here, guys, to see this happen. Because this is going to be nuts.
Well, Jeeps continue to slowly marshal into their positions. Some tentative play upper to the north as 4 Scots got brought in, and already they've lost 2 of their brothers. Let's not forget there's only a single card of them on the deck, although, to be fair, there are 10 of them in that particular card, so plenty of opportunities to bring in new friends.
Yeah.
Jumbo, in the meantime, he is flirting with death as he engages both a P4 as well as that 75 mil. And I can't say that I like his odds as another P4 moves into the party as well.
Yeah, I don't think, unless he gets flanked, he should be fine because the Jumbo is one of the most heavily armored tanks in the game.
True.
But still, it's not going to do too much as you can't really, has a bit of a hard time killing those Panzer. Well, no, he shouldn't have a hard time killing Panzer Force. The Scots, however, shouldn't be charging. That's a bit suicidal.
Well.
Okay, here's the off map in the center, so I think with everything built up, it is. If Garth just drops, I feel like Vesley's gonna make his move.
Do you think he's been trying to lull him into a false sense of security on both flanks, or do you think that Grey Fox knows this is coming?
I don't know. I don't think Grey Fox knows this is coming because he doesn't really have any reconnaissance nearby or anything that really. I mean, he does have some infantry on the edge of the hill, like on the northern end, so you might be able to see like some of it, but I don't think he's completely aware. I think if he was aware, he would have just started mortaring the Jeeps out in the open as they form up.
True, good point. Well, here's the first bit of barraging.
Okay, for the love of God, Vesley, you have to attack. You only have 9 minutes or 10 minutes left. He does not have time on his side, and he really needs to start capturing objectives.
This truly is an absurd amount of material in here. There's more units within a kilometer of each other than I've seen some players have in all of their games. And he's got to go now. There's a recon plane on here. If the recon plane sees him, he is screwed. You gotta go. You gotta go.
You gotta go. Things waiting for the armored rifles. He just really wants to make sure that everything is prepared.
Okay,
We've got
Montgomery.
off-map being cordoned up north.
Mortars are here. You got charge. And maybe he's bringing in the jumbos to run point, and that's about it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, there is going to be a TOT barrage to the north, as well as several bits of mortars here. So, what's the... Oh, it's a 210 from the off-map biplane, duh. Yeah, these mortars are looking to find those front infantry positions. They do a heck of a job to do it, too.
Yeah, those 60 mils are really good at just dealing with enemy infantry. Then the M8 Scots and the Jumbo taking some pretty heavy damage out from the off-map, and that's going to clear the northern side a little bit for Grey Fox to maneuver a bit more. I mean, as we know, there's literally only a single engineer. Oh,
here we go.
The push is going. Fucking finally.
Okay, yeah. If you want to just see all their moves, it's just absurd. We have to have a general attack here, guys. And as you might suspect, initial losses seem to be heavily favoring the Americans here. That's only because these Jeeps, there's so many freaking targets. And I'm wondering who he's donating a plane or two, but I think if he can keep these Jeeps moving, he's gonna rupture the center. Oh, most of the armor against him is already down.
These Jeeps are just running distraction, really.
Well, again, like, I joke every now and again about the idea of a blade of armor, but that's exactly what's happening. It's just this scarlet wave. And there's an M20 as well, giving even more vision here. Some of the Shermans are getting very distracted by looking to the north. To be a P4 who's going to go and try to engage a Jumbo, that's not with kind of predictable results.
The G-Press is wrecking. Look, he's just barreling down, going to be shooting the mortars. He might be able to kill its anti-air. There's so many goddamn Jeeps, they're just doing drive-bys here.
They're stopping a second, and yep, that's one. That's two, that's three. Dang. Dang. Like, you know, when did you ever play Battlefleet Gothic, the 40K thing?
The game, yes.
Yes. So for me, this is like you take like a full destroyer group, and I'm talking like as many destroyers as you can fit into your fleet, and then you just blitz forward. That's what this just happened with. And oh no, but now there's 20 mils over here. The 12-7's not gonna do jack against that.
Yeah, no armor penetration shells, so they're gonna have a bad time. And yeah, yep, they're gonna run away, which is a good call. Maybe they're gonna go down south and try to harass. Seems to be the case. They're let loose. They're free.
They're just gonna sit behind enemy lines here. I'd be amused if they actually sat here and just tried to put fire into those Hotchkisses. No, they're gonna try to take out that anti-tank gun.
Yeah.
And just like that, the center hill has been seized completely.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm surprised that worked, because that was a crap ton of material, but I'm surprised that worked.
I think we all are. I'm about as amused by the fact that we have the Hotchkiss. It's a battle of the technicals. It's a technical battle. Is that going to be a technical knockout? Oh, one by one. I don't know if he can take too much firepower. Ooh, those Jeeps are getting knocked in the chin.
Yes, but the Hotchkisses, most of them are suppressed now. But yeah, the Jeeps are, 13.7 millimeters is largely in 50 cal, or 12.7.
Well, and I guess the important thing when all is said and done about this, too, is now the air power can get themselves involved. Yes, they've lost them to ground fire, but by my reckoning, there still should be at least one P-51 Mustang that's still alive. Maybe I'm incorrect on that.
Yeah, it should be a few at least.
And it's one by one. P4s are just getting knocked out. Jeez, that was just such an absurd push.
It was so effective. I mean, like 2 minutes ago, he was on the other side of the hill. and now he's on the other side from the other side.
And really all he's doing is just cleaning up little gaps here now, too. I mean, most of the mortar positions are being cleared out. The M8 Scott has nothing that can really contest it. It's just 17-7. So yeah, 3 minutes ago it was 14-10 the other direction. Down to the south, seeing the writing on the wall, the Romanians are being rather aggressive, trying to get forward, trying to push and aggress on that southern side of things. And as you might expect, a couple of 76 mils being tossed on in. But now it's the Romanians' turn to have to go and move into this wailing, gnashing, massive teeth. Look at that, what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 6 Shermans, we have as many squads of infantry. We have a Scott there, we have so much material. Like, it's crazy.
It's a lot of stuff. And that's... Firstly, he's doing a very good job of keeping up a bit of momentum in the centre. It's moving up some infantry down the hill, try and get into those lucrative positions on the flag. By God, yeah, this is... Like, he just turned it around. And just looking at the map, Grey Fox really does not have much in the field. He is bringing up Panzer Force, but against those Shermans, ain't gonna be enough, I think.
Well, and it doesn't help when you still have a couple of jumbos that are still able to put fire at any aggressive P4s.
Yeah. There's not much you can do against a jumbo, and oil cluster bombers are dead.
Indeed. But that won't keep him from trying. But I dare say, I feel like the writing is on the wall for this. And what a doozy of a comeback. I legitimately thought Vesely was just going to go down with the whimper.
Same. I thought this would go for the match and the push would never happen, but that one push completely changed everything.
Now, I do want to see exactly how many of those Jeeps die, because I'm pretty sure if you want to look at the KD, yeah.
Pretty close.
Now, from a kills perspective, at 176, Sherman do pretty well. Kemp, a couple of guys here and there able to take out, Doherty has got 4 kills, 4 ground kills right there. Bofors, 3 air kills. Solid effort, really.
Not bad.
Now, the other direction. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just, you got Buchner operated really good. And,
I wonder who killed all those Jeeps. Walter over here got a brace, but for the most part, I did not expect Jeeps to be quite that effective.
Yeah, I think also all the other stuff, like Shermans and the infantry, it just kind of worked, because in that initial push, the Jeeps pushed ahead. They got shot a bit, but just overwhelming amount of 50 caliber firepower, and the Shermans, nothing could poke its head up to actually shoot back. And then if you saw the Jeep push, you could move him very quickly to try and really exploit the breakthrough, and he did by getting into the enemy anti-aircraft line, completely knocking it out, until he ran into too many anti-aircraft guns and died, of course. True,
but gotta take the go with the bat on that one.
Yeah.
But either way, Vesely, way to do the whole rope-a-dope, man. That was
impressive.
It was impressive.
That was seriously impressive.
But I dare say that's going to do it for us today with this particular replay. As always, welcome your thoughts and comments below. If you think you like something going on with a particular deck, feel free to copy it from the beginning of the video here. But I think until next time, this is Conal Work.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.